Step it up, step it up, step it up, Dutty Bookman.
And one of the things that I think is a recurring theme in your work is dealing with, the human condition in a time of the information age. We've moved out of the industrial age, which we know was built on the back of chattel slavery, and now we find ourselves, especially as Africans in particular, because you write from your own perspective, we find ourselves trying to navigate this information age, and you have identified yourself as being blessed to come in a time of the internet, which I find to be unique, and especially with a lot of people are very critical, but you find that this technology is a tool. And in this book, you have made a term that I think is very important in terms of referring to the internet in connection with telepathy. And I think that's a very fascinating way to look at this modern technology. And I want you to just kind of elaborate and explain for the people, how is the internet, what is the connection with telepathic communication?
Yes, so give thanks. Artificial telepathy was actually the second blog post. It was posted on January 6, 2010. And apparently it was posted at 9:53 p.m. Jamaica time. I tried to put the times as much as possible as I have them documented, but not all of them, especially towards the end, were not, that specific. But artificial telepathy, it started from me reading a book in high school called The Chrysalids by John Wyndham. And that book was about, it's like post-apocalyptic Earth, science fiction kind of stuff. And we had to read this in high school. And it's about like these young people who they discover that, as they get into their adolescence, they start to develop this ability to telepathically communicate with each other. And some of them are family, like there's a brother and a sister, their cousin on the other side of town. And this town is very like super dogmatic, and anything that's seen as an abomination will get cut out of society, like if a horse is too big, nobody can ride that horse, they have to put the horse down. If, a yam comes out of the earth and it looks abnormally shaped, they don't eat that yam, so the children, the youth were very afraid that they would be seen as abominations in this society, so they had to keep it a secret. But eventually, a little girl, she had like, one of the guy's little sister, she had like the ability more powerful than anybody else. But she was so young and immature, she couldn't really keep it a secret. She kept blurting it out to people and stuff like that, and eventually they got caught, and to protect her, they all just like got together and started to make a run for it, and people were after them, including their own parents, trying to get them to basically lynch them, And anyway, when I really read that book over again, actually after college, when I moved back to Jamaica, I saw in it, when I was really reading the way that they were describing the telepathy, I saw in it that, what I was already doing, which was living on the internet and talking to people all the way across the world. And it was telepathy to me. We could see each other's thoughts on a screen. It's usually stuff that you would never really say to a person. You wouldn't have this in small talk, it's when you're sitting in your house by yourself and you have this thought and you say, let me put this on the internet. The internet to me is the telepathic domain, but it's just machine run. So that's why I say it's artificial. So I wrote that piece because I was having those thoughts.
Excellent.